Governor Kathy Hochul will deliver her 2025 State of the State speech tomorrow. The governor has been promoting her affordability agenda to help address the burdens many New Yorkers are facing with the cost of living.
Joining us now to talk about what we can expect from the governor tomorrow is Reeher, political science professor at Syracuse University's Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs. Welcome. Good to see you this morning. So what key issues are you anticipating the governor to address?
Well, first of all, the big context hanging over all of this is the perennial question in New York State politics is when will the voters revolt, and what would that revolt look like? They have been getting increasingly frustrated with the way that Albany works, and they're beginning to direct that frustration toward Democrats. You saw some rumblings of that in 2022 and then 2024. So some of the things that the governor is proposing are trying to speak to that. Concerns about inflation, which translates into affordability in politician language. And she's got some other things that she wants to push that are all directed toward those things in one way or another. The other big question, of course, is will there be resistance from the governor on what are likely to be President Trump's initiatives on immigration and trying to essentially round up and send back people who are undocumented here in the United States.
And what do you expect the governor to say on that front? What can she do?
Well, certainly what they can do, and you've already seen this, is to issue directives saying that local governments and state governments won't actively cooperate with efforts to do that. And the governor's tried to sort of delineate a line here, which is to say she will cooperate with ICE when it comes to immigrants who have violated the law. But for those who do not have some sort of active criminal status, she doesn't want to participate in the federal government, helping the federal government find and send these folks back.
All right, so last week, Governor Hochul announcing a proposal that would expand free meals to schools. Why is this such a priority on her agenda, do you feel?
Well, it speaks to this affordability question because if I understand it, it's a broad-based program. It's free meals for everyone, and everybody is dealing with this issue. And so anybody who's going to a public school will qualify. And so that is the affordability piece. When I go back to what I started with, the revolt, you got to pay for that. And so we can't run deficits in the state. And so that's going to have to be accounted for by some kind of revenue increase. Either they've got to find the money in some other program or generate new revenues. And so that's going to be the, I guess, the other shoe to drop in that particular program.
Governor Hochul has already previewed a $3 billion inflation refund for New Yorkers. What does this move signal to voters, and will this move be enough to improve her approval ratings?
Well, it's signaling what we're talking about, which is that I recognize there's a problem and people are frustrated. Here's some money back. Whether it will be enough, I don't know. My suspicion is that it's not going to help terribly, because you've got folks that will take somebody on Long Island paying thousands and thousands of dollars in property tax, and then they get a $300 or a $500 refund. I think the reaction is going to be, thank you very much, but there's a bigger issue here. And so the question again is, will this battleship New York begin to start turning, and will people perceive that it is turning? And again, 2022, she had a much closer election than anybody expected. 2024, Donald Trump did better than any Republican president since 1988. So there are signals here that this frustration's beginning to be directed toward Democrats, and I'm sure that she's worried about that. And there are some quality candidates that are waiting to challenge her in the primary.
Reeher, we appreciate you taking some time to talk to us. Thank you.
That was my pleasure. Thanks for having me on your program.